Hey, good people! This is Donna Meals from Empowered Meals, and we're doing day number 3 of Qualify Your Food, Qualify Your Life. This is a really good bit of information that everybody needs to know, and unfortunately most of us don't. I was floored when I started researching this topic, and the topic for today, I wanted to do a quote. Wayne Dyer is one of my heroes in my little book of heroes that I love to emulate. His mind, his work, all of his ideas, his heart, his thoughts. My favorite quote from him says, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. And wow, there's wow, there's a lot to be said for that. I've recognized for myself with a lot of I guess my whole outlook on life has changed since I have done some self-awareness and some growing up, shall we say. Having a lot of changes from my life. I've had to make a lot of just adjustments of how I envision things. Kind of like with, the Albert Einstein, do you live in a hostile or a loving environment? Same thing. So I just absolutely love that. And I think a lot of the times when you make these specific changes in your eating habits, in your life habits, rituals, etc., it's just an awakening where everything does seem different and everything's better. I'm sitting outside because I'm enjoying a little bit of the breeze here, and it's been a beautiful day. I'm actually doing this the night before because I've got some things I got to do early in the morning tomorrow. So for day 3, Wednesday, topic here is breathing, and part of that breathing is get outside and breathe some fresh air, get some sunshine. There's so many statistics on that. I mean, we've been so ingrained to think, sunlight is bad for you, wear sunscreen every single day. If that were the case, then God would have made us with sunscreen. A lot of our intolerance is because we don't make enough vitamin D, and we need sunshine. That's how we make vitamin D. We make it in our skin, 20 minutes or more of sunshine. Now, obviously, you got to take limitations and all that, and moderation, right? Just like anything. So I'm sitting outside enjoying. There were some birds chirping earlier. It's just the simple things. And I'm lowering my blood pressure. I did my breathing exercises, and I'm just going to get into that briefly. But what I want to do is really discuss the myriad of physical benefits to breathing. I'm going to read off my notes here so I don't forget anything. But the first one is just relaxation, and this stimulates your parasympathetic response, which is a calming, which slows down your heart rate and your blood pressure. Anybody out there have issues that they need to make those items better? It also increases your circulation, and that's because it decreases inflammation throughout your entire system. So, inflammation is what causes the pain or the issue that's giving you a problem in pretty much all of our diseases. So, it also increases your immune response, and it obviously it decreases autoimmune issues. It improves your sleep, decreases sleep apnea like tenfold. It's amazing. Like, I think that the manufacturers of these sleep apnea machines, they ought to be hung, because really all they need to do is develop a breathing program. It's really that simple. People have had amazing results in a very short time with that. So for any of you who have sleep apnea and you have that machine, I would consult a respiratory therapist and see what they know. A good one will be able to help you develop a practice of some breathing exercises that will be able to help you take care of that issue, at least lessen the amount of time that you need to spend, you know, on that machine. So also, the breathing exercises, if you get into the regular habit, I'm talking about adapting a regular habit of this every day. And, you know, that can also aid in vasodilation. So, any of you gents out there that are in need of the blue pill, there's your natural blue pill. You know, God made us with all of these little ingenious things that our body can fix itself, and we have our little mechanisms and ingenuities to get past all of the ailments in life. And I will also say that, you know, as a general overview, like the most important feature of breathing is it reduces overall stress, which is the predominant causal of all of the health issues we're talking about. You know, so I don't know. It just lends itself to say, why not, right? It's free. Doesn't take that much time. I would suggest maybe, you know, a 4-7-8, which is, you know, 4 seconds in on a breath, 7 seconds hold, 8 out on a breath. That's a really good one. That'll give you about 5 or 6 breaths per minute, which when you do that, your oxygenation in your lungs, and you're breathing from your diaphragm, which is underneath your chest cavity. But when you do that, most of us are shallow breathers. Some of us with anxiety and issues with, you know, hyperventilation, asthma, things like that. We tend to breathe about 20 breaths a second. We actually are breathing too much, but it's real shallow. It's only from here on up. And we really need to involve our entire lungs, because then we have the chance of an 85%, you know, usage of our lungs, you know, with just that breath of about between 5 and 6. So that 4-7-8 will get you that. That'll help you accomplish that. So that's a really good, you know, place to be. So it's amazing, the value of it. And like I said, it's free, you know, 5-10 minutes every morning. That's what I always do. That's one of the things that I get up. I have my gratitude, load down some water, and then I do my breathing, and then I proceed with a little bit of meditation. And that practice alone is, you know, about a half an hour when I first wake up. And, you know, your brain's usually in a theta state right about then. That's the best for having a really good solid meditation. But just improving your sleep alone, you know, meditation will do that, but the breathing really well too. It's just a combined effort of all of the good things wrapped up in one, as far as, you know, free and easy helping you out. So, and then I want to actually go and talk about the psychological aspects too, the relaxation thing. Okay. You can immediately reduce, you know, your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormones, and responsible for so many issues, mostly weight gain. Everybody, you know, apparently by the statistics, 6 out of 10 of us are overweight anyway, to the obesity factor, which I mentioned yesterday. So you know, there's people here that hear my voice right now that could benefit from that, because reducing that cortisol and the stress, it makes such a huge difference in your metabolism. And metabolism is not necessarily just moving food from A to B. Metabolism has everything to do with all of your hormones and how things work. It's all the messaging. It's you know, if you can improve every aspect of your life by just spending a few minutes every morning, you know, right when you first wake up. I mean, I don't know. I guess enough said. I don't need to make a better case. But anyway, let me check my notes here. So if you're in like a fight or flight, which is a sympathetic nervous system, that's kind of when your critter brain has taken over. And for some of us, like me, I lived in fight or flight probably 20 years of my life, you know, before I started going through all of the measures that I've made to improve things for myself. And I mean, my adrenals were shot. That's part of why I have had some health issues, and why I sought out a naturopath, and I've been doing my little regimen, you know, since November. So it's almost 5 months now, and seeing a lot of good changes. And you know, I can't recommend that more. But as far as you know, you're living in that fight or flight, that's your critter brain that's basically on the lookout because it's keeping you safe and keeping you alive. That comes back from the prehistoric days where, you know, is the tiger gonna come out and get me? And so basically what happens is your body shuts down, you know, your digestion and all of the major stuff that's going on. You know, obviously not breathing, because you need that, but it sends all of the blood flow everywhere else to your extremities, and not your inner cavity of your body, you know, not your main body. It sends it to the extremities. So that's why they call it fight or flight. So you can run or stick up for yourself or do whatever. And if you live in that mode, that's cortisol, stress hormones, you know, your insulin doesn't get dealt with properly because your digestion doesn't, and all of that stuff gets screwed up. So if you're living like that year after year, you know, like I did, there's bound to be issues, even if you eat right. So just like me, you know, I'm your prime case. So anywho, you know, if you're in that sympathetic fight or flight response, you know, you're in trouble. But you can immediately pull yourself out of that just with a series of 2 or 3 super deep breaths. And that's pulling it in from your bottom of your diaphragm, and, you know, 4 counts in, 7 hold, 8 counts out. And do that, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. There's another thing that you can do, and it's a different kind of breathing, but it kind of works out too. It's Wim Hof. It's just something good to do. I used to do that a while, but I like the slow one a little better. But he's got another aspect of what he does. You know, these deep, I call them dragon breaths, to get all this oxygenation in. Improves your circulation. It's good for your cardio. It's good for all those things. And it's just another way of doing it. It's harder for me because I probably don't have as big of a nasal cavity, because you really want to breathe. Oh my goodness, I should have talked about that real quick. I will. You know, with your nose and not your mouth. But as far as the deep breaths, just if you could develop, you know, just that little practice for yourself, it's amazing. It just produces good chemistry, you know, for the rest of your day as well. So let me get back to the breathing through your nose rather than your mouth. We have, our nasal cavity is part of our immune system. It's the very beginning. That's where a lot of our mouth is kind of connected in there. But a lot of our bacteria in our teeth, that's why it's so good to have good dental health and, keep your gums, free from gingivitis, because that bacteria gets into our system and it really messes with us. Now it's back to the breathing with your nasal cavity, also part of that same immune system. Your sinuses are specially devised to trap dust and weed out impurities, and also to pressurize your air intake into your lungs. And it also acts like a catalyst to kind of make sure that the right stuff is allowed in. It's like a filter, and it moisturizes and heats the air for your lungs if necessary, cools it sometimes, and just acts like a babysitter, I guess, for your lungs. So if you're like a mouth breather, which I do when I sleep for some, I realize that's your benefit from the oxygen is cut down 40%. That's huge. That's like saying I'm missing 40% of the benefit. I mentioned this before. I had a little thing on breathing, but I really wanted to kind of put all this together just in one thing. But there are some factions out there that are taping their mouth shut at night, so they don't have that issue. I guess that's what the mask does too for people. For the sleeping mask when people have problems with sleep apnea is what I'm referring to. But wait a minute, I just thought about that. No, it's probably not good. I don't know. I haven't really checked those out. I'm gonna have to look into that. But absolutely, breathing through your nose, way more beneficial. And there's a couple good books out there on it. So much more research lately. It's stunning. Anyway, I wish you all a good night or good morning, good day. Because I'm probably not going to post this for a few hours, so most of you will be seeing this on Wednesday morning or so. I just hope that you, even though this wasn't a food category, breathing just as important. Breathing is just as important as food and water. So it's one of those things that I really felt compelled to make a part of our little deal here. And I just hope that everyone takes the seriousness of this and just the opportunity. It's free and easy, like me. Anyway, hope you guys all have a great night, and peace out. Take care.